Hi everyone, welcome back to the SDG Pavilion, and a special hello to our Facebook audience watching at home. We're trying to bring more of our conversations about SDGs and their interactions with climate to a wider audience. So right now we're here to discuss the link between SDG 13 on climate action, which is something everybody here at COP in Madrid knows about, with SDG 6, which is the clean water and sanitation goal. So my name is Ariel Aleksevich. I'm with the UN Department of Economic and Social Affairs, and I'm here with Anil Mishra. He's a program specialist at the Intergovernmental Hydrological Programme of UNESCO, and Sonja Koeppel, who's with the Convention on the Protection and Use of Transboundary Watercourses in International Lakes at the UN Economic Commission for Europe. And all three of our agencies are part of UN Water, which is a UN initiative that's all trying to work together, use best practices to bring clean water and sanitation to everyone. So thank you both for being here today. And to start off, let's talk big picture. Could you guys tell us a little bit, starting with you, Sonja, about how water ties directly with climate?
Thank you very much, and I'm pleased to be here in this session. As many of you know, the majority of climate change impacts are transmitted to the water cycle. Actually, more than 90% of all disasters are water-related, floods and droughts. Also, water scarcity is becoming a major issue in many parts of the world due to climate change and also other reasons. And also, countries are starting to realize this because the majority of all countries have included water into their NDCs, national determined contributions. On the other hand, water is part of the solutions for addressing climate change because climate smart water management helps to address climate change adaptation and mitigation. So we need to all further work on promoting these interlinkages, and that's why the expert group on water and climate led by UNESCO, UNECE and WMO has published this climate change and water policy brief this year.
Great. And Sonja, I know you are running actually to another event, so I'm wondering if you can tell our audience a little bit about programs you're working on that bring this message home further, what you're doing at UNECE.
Thank you very much. So we have been working on water and climate for more than 10 years, like many other agencies also do in the United Nations system, including UNESCO and WMO. And we focus on two particular aspects, adaptation to climate change in transboundary basins. Actually, the majority of freshwater flow worldwide, 60%, is in shared basins. And 40% of the world population lives in such basins. And in such basins, it is necessary to cooperate in order to prevent negative impacts of unilateral adaptation measures, and on the other hand, to make adaptation more effective. So we are under the Water Convention supporting countries to jointly adapt to climate change, develop joint vulnerability assessments and climate change adaptation strategies, and also implement concrete measures which are useful from the basin perspective for the entire basin. And then we also have there's a protocol on water and health, which is a joint protocol between UNECE and WHO Europe. And that helps countries to bring together the water, health and environment sectors, and also looks at how to make water supply and sanitation more resilient, including to new challenges such as climate change.
Great, thank you, Sonja. So if you have to step out now, that's absolutely fine. And maybe, Amir, we can move to you. And can you tell us a little bit more about this policy brief and some of the key messages?
Absolutely. As Sonja said, UN Water Expert Group on Water and Climate, coordinated by UNESCO, WMO and UNECE, coordinated with more than 30 UN agencies and partner organizations to come up with a climate change and water policy brief. The key messages were first presented during HLPF High-Level Political Forum, but we are launching it tomorrow actually during UN Water Site event. One of the fundamental things that the policy brief highlights is what is the victim of climate change. Because when you have climate change, you feel floods, droughts, in lots of water in wrong time, no water when you need lots of water. So water is the #1 victim of climate change. But also the policy brief identifies water can provide solution through nature-based solution, through smart technologies, water efficiencies. So the policy brief come up with several recommendations. Water needs to be integrated into national adaptation plan, into NDCs, but also water provides a lot of things, so it needs to be bring into the forefront of mitigation discussion as well.
Absolutely. And Sonja, on your end, are there key messages that relate to Europe? We're here in Madrid. You work for the European arm of the UN. Is there anything, this report, that you would recommend to stakeholders?
The policy brief does not talk about particular regions because it is meant to be a global document. And actually many of the solutions are relevant for all parts of the world. If I focus on the Pan-European region, the UNECE region, actually it faces challenges of increased flooding, but also droughts. As we see in the southern part of Europe, but even in Central Europe and increasingly Central Asia, for example, there have been actually quite some droughts over the last years, which have affected different sectors, including energy, navigation, and so on and so forth. And this all underscores the need for an intersectoral approach to climate change adaptation and mitigation, bringing together the water, energy, agriculture sectors, but also planning, landscape, also source-to-sea approach, like including the freshwater and oceans into discussions, and really taking such intersectoral approach. And finally, I would like to say that even if many people think Europe is so advanced, I would say in climate change there's still a lot to do also in Europe, and also a lot which Europe can learn from other parts of the world.
Great, thank you. And then moving to you, Anil, do you think that what do you think about the global efforts in connecting water and climate change? Do you think water is becoming more part of the conversation at the COPs and at other global conferences?
Well, I think now water is coming into the forefront of the global discussion. We have World Water Forum, we have Stockholm Water Week, we have Water Week in different regions, but also there are many other international, intergovernmental, particularly Intergovernmental Hydrological Programme, the other water program of the United Nations system. So water is really being discussed. We need to this COP is highlighted as Blue COP, and the previous session which also talked about ocean and cryosphere. So we really need to think from the source to sea perspective, bringing what is happening up in the mountain to the ocean. We really need to take this message because it's so integrated. And when we talk about water provides solution, it's not only goal 6, it's all other goals that interconnects water. So I think it's coming there.
And are there any good examples you can think of good water initiatives from governments or from other stakeholders that show that we're getting there?
I think, as I said, now in the recent 3 IPCC report, which is also highlighted, although in the Paris Agreement water was not specifically mentioned, but now the coming reports of IPCC it is recognized, and we need to work more. We need to more work to make countries to put water in the agenda, particularly in National Adaptation Plan, in NDCs also, and that's how we bring water in the forefront.
All right, thank you very much, Anil. We appreciate you being here. And for all of our viewers who are interested in learning more about the SDGs and how they relate to climate change and how all of the goals are interconnected, you can visit sustainabledevelopment.un.org, and you can follow what we're doing here in the SDG Pavilion at COP25 using hashtag SDG Pavilion. Thank you.
How to close?